Step under the police tape and welcome to the Investigation Detectives. I am the lead detective here, and today we are cracking open a massive case file for this explainer. We're looking at exactly how top-tier students are inexplicably losing easy, critical marks on the Cambridge AS-level Afrikaans language syllabus. Specifically, we're dusting for prints on paper 8679, covering the essay topics for 2030. We'll be doing a full forensic breakdown of how this applies to the core syllabus themes: human relationships, media, work, and leisure. Now look, if you've been putting in the grueling hours at the library, burning the midnight oil, memorizing every piece of vocabulary, but you still aren't seeing the top band marks you absolutely deserve, you are in the exact right place. We are going to treat the examiner's rubric like a highly complex crime scene today. We're hunting for hidden forensic clues to show you exactly what the chief examiner is demanding. To help us out, I want you to picture two junior detectives I work with on these cases. Let's call them Agent Alex and Agent Sam. Now, Agent Alex is a procedural whiz who gathers mountains of physical evidence, meaning Alex crams an essay full of raw, unadulterated facts about Afrikaans media or leisure activities. But Alex completely fails to build a coherent case motive. There's no high-level analysis, it's just a data dump. Then, on the other hand, you have Agent Sam. Sam is a fast-acting, highly opinionated detective who jumps straight to immediate conclusions, completely skipping the vital forensic confirmation steps. Sam completely misses the examiner's command words. Both of these agents end up with their cases thrown out of court. Today, we're going to make sure you don't make their mistakes. Let's dig in. Let's quickly open up the case file dossier to establish our structural blueprint. First, the baseline rules. Second, the procedural framework. Third, principal examiner warnings. Fourth, the interrogation. And finally, case closed recap. Section 1, the baseline rules, securing the perimeter. To start our investigation, we need to secure the perimeter and establish the core academic benchmarks. Our primary forensic clue lies directly in the theoretical foundations of the Cambridge syllabus. The official examiner reports reveal that top-performing candidates prioritize deep, logical, structured reasoning over simply listing shallow facts. Think back to our junior agent, Alex. Alex will walk into the exam room, look at a prompt about the impact of the digital age on modern work and leisure, and just start frantically listing every single technological platform invented since 1995. Alex creates a massive evidence board of superficial breadth, but the assessment framework for AS-level Afrikaans explicitly prioritizes analytical depth. It is absolutely crucial to understand that it's not about how many random facts you can memorize about media or human relationships. It is entirely about demonstrating a connected, conceptual understanding that you can transfer to completely unfamiliar contexts. The examiner wants to see the red yarn connecting your evidence to a larger, overarching motive. They want to know the why and the how, not just the what. When you're writing your essay, you have to trace how the official assessment objectives scale up. They start at standard data tracking, which is your basic knowledge, and they scale all the way up to deep critical evaluation. If you stay at the data tracking level like Agent Alex, your grade will flatline. You must dig deeper into the implications of the evidence you are presenting. Before you even begin analyzing a text or making a grand, sweeping argument about human relationships or work dynamics, you must establish a forensic baseline. The theoretical architecture of this exam rests entirely on precise definitions. And this is exactly where our other junior detective, Agent Sam, completely blows the case. Sam reads a prompt, gets super excited, and just starts aggressively arguing a point without ever actually stopping to define the parameters of the investigation. You have to clearly define your key terms right at the start of your extended response. For example, if the essay is about media influence on youth, what exactly do you mean by media in the context of your specific argument? Are we talking traditional broadcast media or decentralized social media algorithms? If you don't define it, you are committing a massive exam crime. Examiners actively reward you for taking a moment to clearly lay out your terminology because it proves you have that conceptual architecture in place before you start integrating other syllabus areas. Misinterpreting or ignoring an examiner's command word because you didn't define your terms acts exactly like a fingerprint mismatch at a crime scene. The examiner tries to run your argument through their grading database, it throws back an error, and your case marks are instantly thrown out. Don't be like Sam, define your terms.
Section 2. The procedural framework. Method marks.
Now let's look at the actual forensic procedure you must follow to guarantee those critical method marks. Imagine Alex and Sam sitting across from each other in the interrogation room, sweating under a single buzzing light bulb, desperately trying to stitch together an unassailable model response paragraph. Alex is trying to overload the text block with long blocks of textbook definitions, while Sam is fighting to build a direct analytical logic string but keeps skipping crucial steps. To resolve this debate, we use this standardized 5-step sequence. This is your structural matrix. Step 1. Identify key elements.
Pull the raw data or the specific textual evidence from the prompt. Step 2, apply relevant principles. This is where you bring in your Afrikaans language structures and syllabus concepts regarding work or leisure. Step 3, execute analysis with clear working. This means your logic must be visible on the page. Don't make the examiner guess how you got from point A to point B. Step 4, verify results. Read back over your sentence. Does it actually answer the specific prompt, or did you wander off topic? And step 5, present in appropriate format. Use the correct register, tone, and paragraph structure. If you skip a step here, if you jump from identifying a key element straight to presenting it without applying principles or executing visible analysis, you break the chain of custody for your evidence and you lose the marks.
Section 3. Principal Examiner Warnings. The Prime Suspects. So, what does this all mean when the rubber meets the road? Why do candidates consistently drop marks despite having vast amounts of factual evidence? Honestly, it's the ultimate exam crime. A student walks out of the exam hall feeling like a genius. They know every single fact about the psychological impacts of modern media, or the shifting cultural dynamics of human relationships in Afrikaans-speaking communities. They've written 5 pages. The board is covered in evidence. So why do their marks suddenly flatline when the paper is actually graded? It's because having a lot of evidence doesn't matter if you can't prove motive in court. They are missing the connective tissue. They are describing the scene of the crime, but they aren't evaluating who committed it and why. Case file freeze. Before we reveal the ultimate top-band paragraph structure to help you clear your upcoming Cambridge sessions, we need to make sure your intelligence feed is entirely secure. Take a second right now to subscribe to Ace the Exams at the handle @AceTheExams and turn on all notifications so you never miss our weekly forensic exam updates. Whether you are cracking cases at IGCSE, O-levels, or AS and A-levels, we have your back. Okay, let's get back to the chief's warning. According to official principal examiner testimony, this is straight from the top brass, the failure comes right back to the foundation. Quote, candidates consistently confuse key terminology. Always define terms before using them in extended responses. Let's say Alex and Sam hit an unexpected roadblock mid-paragraph. Their evidence links are collapsing under cross-examination because they are arguing about leisure, but one is talking about competitive sports and the other is talking about passive media consumption. The examiner cannot give you the benefit of the doubt. If your terminology is vague, your entire analytical logic string snaps. Let's profile our prime suspects. Here are the top 3 grade-destroying exam crimes that we see year after year. Number 1. Candidates constantly confuse cause and effect in their arguments. They might say that a decline in traditional human relationships causes an increase in social media usage when the text they're analyzing actually suggests the exact inverse. You must establish clear, accurate causal relationships. Number 2, forgetting to check format and presentation conventions. The syllabus states that presentation follows strict rules. We're talking proper paragraphing, correct academic register in Afrikaans, and clear transitions. Number 3, writing answers that are not specific to the given context. This is the worst offense. You absolutely cannot just memorize a generic essay about work and paste it onto the exam paper regardless of what the prompt asks. The lead detective, that's me, steps in here and hands you a structural framework to solve this. It's called the Peel Matrix. Point, evidence, valuation, link. You make your point, you drop your evidence, you interrogate and evaluate that evidence to show how it works, and then you firmly link it back to the exact specific context of the prompt. If you rewrite your responses line by line using that matrix, you create a perfectly balanced, completely bulletproof block of text.
Section 4. The Interrogation, Evaluative Thinking.
Now, I'm handing the investigation files over to you. Welcome to the Interactive Viewer Evidence Room. We are going to do a live forensic check. First, let's do a visual clue scan. Imagine a complex source text in front of you discussing the shift from manual labor to digital work in modern society. You have 60 seconds on the clock. What is the single highest yielding core trend? If you were just scanning for words you recognize, you're reading descriptively. Let's move to challenge 2. Identify the counterfeit answer. I'm going to give you a flawed, medium-tier sample student response. Imagine a student writes, social media allows people to communicate instantly, which is a big part of modern media. Traditional letters took longer. Okay, grab your digital marker. Where does the logic fall apart? The delta between a standard mark and a top band score comes down to this core concept on your screen. That statement was purely descriptive. A descriptive statement only identifies basic similarities or lists textbook definitions. It tells me what social media is. I already know what it is. The examiner knows what it is. But the higher order assessment objectives demand an evaluative argument. A high-tier response doesn't just list facts, it identifies similarities and differences, questions underlying assumptions, and justifies its decisions with evidence.
An evaluative version of that sentence would analyze how the immediacy of social media fundamentally alters the psychological depth of human relationships compared to the deliberate nature of traditional letter writing, perhaps arguing that convenience has sacrificed emotional resonance. Do you see the difference? You are cross-examining the evidence, considering different perspectives, evaluating alternatives, and drawing justified conclusions. That is the only way to elevate a basic description into a top-tier evaluative argument.
Section 5. Case closed. Investigation recap. Our forensic audit is complete. Alex and Sam have finally compiled their final, high-scoring text block by following the rules, and we are confirming a 100% case resolution score. To distill this session into universal rules for you, you must follow these 3 directives to ace the 8679 syllabus. First, the decoding phase. Master your terminology. You have to implement a 3-step question scan the second you turn the paper over. Identify the command word, identify the topical theme, whether it's media, work, leisure, or relationships, and define those terms immediately in your introduction to show total conceptual understanding. Second, the timing phase. You need a strict clock budget allocation. Use the 5-step standardized sequence we discussed. Identify, apply, execute, verify, present to secure your method marks efficiently. Do not spend 40 minutes on a 10-mark descriptive data dump. And third, the final evidence audit. Elevate to evaluation. When you review your work, ask yourself, did I just describe the text or did I evaluate it? You must compare, question assumptions, and justify your conclusions. Push your reasoning from simple descriptions to justified comparative evaluation. Case file freeze. The evidence has been processed, the suspects are booked, and the interrogation is officially over. But before you head back out into the field to tackle your next grueling exam session, you need to make sure your communications are securely encrypted. Hit that subscribe button for AC Exams at the handle @ace-the-exams, and click the notification bell to get your weekly grade masterclasses delivered straight to your precinct. We break down the hardest Cambridge papers every single week. Before you go, drop a comment below sharing exactly which Cambridge subject and level, IGCS, O, AS, or A-level, you are preparing to conquer next. We will pull the case files for your subject and get our best detectives on it. Keep your logic sharp, trust your evidence, and I will see you in the next explainer. Case closed.